Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is the Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games and a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018, and it's week 50 of the Game Decathlon competition. Still in season number 4, but really starting to perform at a much higher level than before. However, in this race, it's not a World Tour race. We don't have all the top teams here. But we've come with a pretty strong team to this one, and it's looking real good. I've got Hugh Carthy, Michael Woods, Pierre Rolland, Joe Dombrowski, and myself all in the list of favorites. And right now in the overall standings, Michael Woods and I are both in the top 3 overall with just a few seconds separating all of us, and there's really only 5 riders left in contention for this race, as everybody else is 2 minutes or more behind. And of the 5 riders that remain, I am definitely the strongest, not only as a climber for this stage, but in the final stage, stage 5. It is a time trial, and I'm the only one of the 5 time trialists that is strong. So as a result, I now pick up the team leader role, even though Michael Woods remains 1 place above me in the standings. He went for the stage win last time, ended up 2nd, because one man of the original breakaway held on and finished just a couple bike lengths ahead of Michael Woods. And they actually gave the first 10 riders plus that last man of the breakaway, so the first 11 riders, we all came in on the same time. And then again, only 5 of those 11 were still in contention. That's why there's such a big gap. So I get full control of the entire team for this one, which is awesome. This could really go our way down the stretch. Checking the profile here. How steep is the climbing? There's a few steeper ones, and that category 3 actually is pretty steep towards the end. I'm surprised it's only a category 3. And the final climb is not that steep, so I think we should be doing some of the damage prior to that. Maybe not even just at the beginning of the category 3, but a little before that, about here. We should be thinning the group out quite a bit, recover a little bit, and then put it on towards the end. So 12 riders now are in a breakaway group that is 4 minutes ahead. Let's see if there's any names in there that are a threat. And no. Well, there's really no names in this race that are a threat. Oh, no, don't catch me. Okay. Dan McClay has gone down. Rolland has been caught up in it as well. Quite a few riders.
Pierre Rolland has fallen. Watch out, a team leader is falling behind.
Alright. Nothing severe going on right now, and that group behind is already caught back up, so not going to worry about catching them. We're actually already gaining on them. We're down to 2.5 minutes, even though we haven't gone on the attack yet. Dombrowski is working to bring them behind. Under 2 minutes, and Peloton's starting to shrink already just over that first climb of the day. And that's the easy one. This little section might be, I suppose, considered the easiest climb of the day, as now we go over the top, but even then, Peloton's down to 100 riders. McClay's already gone. He's a sprinter, so no surprise there. But here, as we go over the bridge, over this river, we are going to start the actual climb in earnest. And why am I so far back here? Oh, because I'm a 70. Time to step that up. Woods and I make our way back to the front here. Alright, so Dombrowski's put in a fair amount of work already, so he is a bit fatigued. But I've got Carthy, I've got Woods, and then Roland and Dombrowski, the other two outsiders that are putting in the work. Peloton is shrinking so quickly here, and it's still not even the point where I wanted to start to attack by any means. And now it's down to 53, and it's just continuing to shrink. So this gentle uphill slope is doing the damage. When we go over the river again here in a moment, and back over this bridge, this is where I want to actually start the work. Once we come around this corner, we're going to start going uphill here in a moment. And Roland Dombrowski already going to the front to do the job that I actually was looking for them to do. So, nice. And we continue to shrink. 43 riders now chasing a breakaway group that, to be honest with you, has done a really good job of just now riders starting to fall off the back. But those 11 riders stayed together throughout. Now we're down to just 33 riders here in the Peloton. 29 riders. It is shrinking so fast. Oops. There we go.
Attack from a rider.
Well, I'm down to 3 riders, but just like that, we've caught the breakaway group so fast. Woods is now going to the front to go on the attack, and we're up over this steeper section. We've still got the steepest section coming up in a little bit. We'll have a chance to reset. 29 riders left, and then we're going to recover on that descent a bit. I should, anyway. A lot of riders aren't going to recover too well. But 28 riders, and I don't want to lose Woods or Carthy yet, so there's no reason to attack when it's already down to 28 riders. So we'll speed things up a little bit till we start climbing again here. Looks like that should be here in a moment, and yes, gentle here at first, but it's going to go up a bit more here in a moment. Carthy trying to shield me, but not doing a very good job of it, as he's fairly fatigued right now. And Woods, putting in the work for the team at the front, sadly is removing him from his ability to shield me. So I will be on my own for the final climb, which is a bad thing, but I'm such a stronger climber than just about everybody else that I think I'll be in good shape. And if Woods is still in the group, at least, here at the end, and actually Woods, you're gonna go ahead and just shield me for now. I would like it if you were still in the group and recovered a little bit, so at least at the base. Ben King, he's going for mountain climbers points here. Not worried about him. Braithen. It's only a category 3, so I'm not worried about it. Peloton actually still shrinking. We're down to 21 riders, and that includes whatever was left of the breakaway group, like Ben King. And I'm still looking and feeling good, while these guys are just barely starting to recover. Woods now in recovery, so I will still have him for this final climb. And Hugh Carthy, he's not going to get us very far once we hit the base, but 19.5K to go, and I'm nearly fully recovered now, which a lot of these guys are not. I mean, we're already getting close to the bottom. You can see Hugh Carthy barely starting to recover. Woods only slightly recovered. That's going to feed into my advantage. I may not win this stage, but I will definitely be in the top 5. I would think by the end of this thing. We are coming back together a little bit, though, as individual riders are making contact at the back. But if they are doing so, they're certainly not going to be terribly strong. And you can see Carthy and Woods, who are in the group, are only somewhat recovered. And here we are at the first bottom, but not the final bottom. There's still one more little uphill, downhill section before we then take off. And here come the attacks. 101st. No, not worried about you. Not worried about you. Calm down. let him go. He's not a strong climber anyway, so even if he's allowed to get 30 seconds. Okay, here's a couple more guys going. Sandali, another one. I'm going to keep an eye on you for a second, though. And who is this behind you? Lapini. Yeah, these guys aren't much of a threat. So a couple little breakaways getting away, but I have a feeling I'll catch them pretty quickly on the actual climb. Okay, now Hugh Carthy. Let's up the tempo here. That's why these guys are breaking away. They're taking a chance. They're taking the advantage. And oh, look at that. Roland Dombrowski have caught us too. We're suddenly back up to 84 or 45 riders. Well, we'll see the damage being done here soon enough.
This climb is feared by many riders. The percentages are very high.
It's not that steep through here. And remember, a lot of guys recovered a fair amount, so...
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
Yeah, we're already catching some of those who got away. Lapini, I believe, is the front right now. Yes. So as I said, we're catching them quickly, and we're shrinking. We're down to 35 riders now. Okay, we're down to 4K here, so I'm going to start putting pressure on. Oh, Gaudu. Gaudu's one of the favorites, right? Stop for a second. See, 78. Yeah, he is one that I don't want to let get away. So, Carthy, use what you got. Once he is used up here, I'm going to send Woods to use what he's got left. Okay, and he's going to come forward, and Carthy's about to get dropped. Okay, Gauda's nearly caught. We're down to 11 riders here in the group. Woods attacking well at a 91 rate. And, oh, finish, finish, finish! Sprint! Go, 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 go! I just noticed how close to the finish line we were. Small group of 6 left, and I take the win as I was fresher than everybody else left. They were all just hanging on, so we overtake Gauda just before the line. Robert Power takes 3rd, Cavilli 4th. We were all among the 11 left, and Woods and I reverse, but this time no breakaway rider left over the top as I overcome him. So a close reversal of that last stage where Woods went for it and came out just short of the breakaway rider. This time I go for it and I overtake the breakaway rider. Hugh Carthy comes in 12th. So really good result for the team as we get 1st, 6th, and 12th. I win the stage. I'm still not going to be in 1st place though, I don't think. The 10-second bonus. And we'll see. We'll see. Woods, I think, was 6 seconds ahead of me, so I should overcome him with the time bonus, if there is a time bonus here. I believe there would be. But I still might be 2nd. But with the final stage being that time trial, I've got every opportunity to go out and not only win the overall, but win a 2nd straight stage. That would actually turn this into a triple winning race with 2 stages and the overall, if I can pull it off. I haven't even started the stage yet, so I've got a lot of work to do still to get that done. But you can see just how spread out this field was. Just a little surprising because this wasn't the most intense climbing stage by any means. I mean, I never even tried to ride off on my own. It was still just right there at the end where I still had my team working and getting the job done, and I was just fresh enough to overtake all those guys. Looks like really only one other had much of anything left to try to attack at the end. Alright, so just the first 6 riders on the same time, and then the gaps start to open up after that. Hugh Carthy comes in 12th, a minute and a half down. Dombrowski well down, but these guys were used. Pierre Rolland as well. They were used to support the team, and yes, so still second. And now it's down to just 3 riders in contention, with Michael Woods and I both looking at a podium, and it's Robert Power, the only one who's still hanging on, and his time trial is a 68. I should have absolutely no problem overcoming him. Michael Woods just a 61, but only 12 seconds behind Power, so whoever has a better day could easily take second, but I should be a shoo-in to win this thing. Flachari now 4th, 2:20 down. Kovili just missed out on the 11 last time, so that's why he's 3 minutes down. Pretty big gaps. Hugh Carthy also in 12th, so looking pretty good there. I'm leading the sprint points as well, and the mountain points with that final climb, and the under 25s, and we lead the team by 15 minutes. Everything but the overall at this point, and I think I should have it by this next stage. 30 points overall, with all of those firsts. Now I'm starting to pile on some victories again. But again, this is not a World Tour race. So I'm not facing the best riders in the world right now. But now we're starting to see that when I do face somewhat lesser competition, I'm right up there as a dominant force. And it looks like I'm picked as favorite again today. Race day condition, my fitness peak is gone. It expired a couple stages ago. So what helped me so much through Paris-Nice, not getting that help here. I'm back down to just my regular attributes, and there are a couple World Tour teams here besides me. They just didn't bring their strongest team. I mean, look at that. I'm a 79 compared to Tratnik, the second favorite, who's a 74 overall. So, I like my odds today. Odds on favorite. Finished top 3 for the stage, so finally they're not just like, oh, you need to win this thing. That's good. I think a top 3 would definitely result in the overall win. I think a top 10 would still result in the overall win. Probably a top 25 even may result in an overall win. But these top guys, Woods being one of them, that are in contention with me, they're both going to give it their all, so they'll be a little higher than some of the other riders. Right now, 19 minutes is the standard. Dan McClay, good time, 4th at the moment. But he'll fall off this list before too long. O'Donnell now on course. Speaking of course, let's check a couple things. We go out, we come back, but there is no wind to affect anything. And we're totally flat, so that's just pure strongest rider is going to win the day. Raphael Jackson out of Australia and Dimension Data has gone fastest now, just under the 19-minute mark. First to break that threshold, but not the last, as Oliveira went top for just a moment before Domingini overtakes him. Now 18:50 on the clock. Dombrowski out on track now. O'Donnell now is 14th fastest, better than McClay there. Dombrowski running out of energy too soon. Slows him down. He finishes 96th. Pierre Rolland going. Hugh Carthy now going. Woods is going to be out there soon. And then, of course, I'm the next one to go after him. Rolland, a little too much left at the end. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down. Slow down. Rolland, 81st. O'Donnell outside of the top 20. So I've got no reference from the team. It's just 14. Okay, so I would think I should be able to push about an 80. My race day condition's a -1, but I can actually see that that's not really the case. I've got a +1 on the time trial today. It looks like that's a little too hard, but not by much. Okay, we'll go 77. I don't want to run out. I'm already gaining on Woods rapidly here. 76, I'm still losing out just a little bit. Hugh Carthy goes 36th fastest. Donald's still best for the team, 33 seconds down. Domingini still leading the way. We're going to come up on the first time check. I'm going to switch to this. Michael Woods not on the top 20, and I'm second. And no sign of the leader anywhere near the top 20. So that's a really good sign for me. Woods has a bit more energy stored up than me, but I am just about level, so there's no reason for me to slow this down. And it looks like I'm about to make a pass on Woods here. So guaranteed top 2, and from the sign of the top 20, it looks like I'm guaranteed to win this thing, as I only needed 8 seconds to overcome. This is such a weird section that they've got us in right now. Pushing to the end, pushing to the end. Can I overtake him on the line? Not quite, but I've gone top, just level. And let's see our last guy, Robert Power. He was 20 seconds down in 31st, and he's still nowhere near finishing, so he'll be well down, 38 seconds behind in 30th. And yes, that is enough, so I pick up not only... Oh, and they change it! They change it on the finish, on the podium. We're on same time, but they give Domingini the win over me in the final results. Oh, same time, and I go second, but I do get the overall by a good 31 seconds. Michael Woods drops by a minute 24. Flociari, he didn't do so bad as he's still at 2:21, but I do get the overall win. So I win, apparently, the stage, and then I don't win the stage, but I win the overall mountain. I get the Young Riders jersey, we get the team jersey, all of that comes together. But with same time, I win the stage and then lose the countback, I guess, in the end, to take second on the stage. But I did get the evaluation of finishing top 3 at least. But very disappointing to lose the stage on same time, even though it said I came in first initially. But there it is. Win overall. Woods takes 3rd. Carthy stays in 12th. But there you go. I'm all over the top standings. And that's going to be a nice, healthy finish. So, yeah, they called it second on the stage. unfortunate there, unlucky there, considering it did say that I was first, and then they changed their mind. And I get the best teammate bonus as well, so a solid 98 points of progression on that one. That is nice. That is very nice. That's going to have a pretty big impact in the Super Prestige as well, though it's not a World Tour stage, so it's not going to have as big of an impact as it might have had otherwise. Still a bit of fatigue after running that race. We're still on 34% now, so that's not bad actually. That 5-day race plus 2 hard days of training didn't add to my fatigue very much at all. Having a couple time trials in those 5 stages plays a bit of a factor on that. You might ride real hard on a time trial, but when it's only 14K versus 230, you're just not doing as much damage to your body, even if you're riding by yourself. And it's the final day of March, so we're going to move into the second stage of the season as we enter April. And we're going to the Tour of the Basque Country. Itzulia Basque Country. Here in just a day. It's a 6-stage race. And before we enter that, we're going to do a couple things here. One, let's go ahead and take a look at the results and see how we're doing in the standings. Not a World Tour race, so I have dropped a bit there, 18. But the Super Prestige, we now move up to 4th place in the Super Prestige. So I was, I believe, 10th last time that I had checked. So we're up to 4th place now, 646 points. So that is, let's see, 127 for the Gaming Decathlon at this point. So 127 points already in the Gaming Decathlon. We were at 95 when we entered those last 2 stages of the round. So big boost in points, and it's really coming along. And I think we're going to beat our record this season, at least at the rate we're going, especially considering it's only April 2nd. 5 wins counted, so we added 2 to our total. And so close to a third, literally same time as the winner. And they initially gave it to me, and then ripped it away from me. They said, you've won enough already. Alright, well, let's go to the other thing we were going to do before we get started. And let's check the profile of this 6-stage race that was last year won by Nairo Quintana with Rowan Dennis, Chris Froome, and Team Sky all over the top 6 there with Wout Poels and Kwiatkowski. 2019 was Chris Froome over Nairo Quintana. Ron took 5th in 2019, and in 2018, Bardet won, and Uran was 4th. Last year, I took 14th, with Uran 10th. Okay, so let's see here. First stage, mostly a sprint stage, but it'll be a small group coming to the end. This is World Tour, by the way. Stage 2 is a sprint stage, but it won't be everybody getting to the end. Stage 3, ooh, that's like an Alaphilippe kind of stage. Valverde kind of stage. Stage 4, again. I could see a Peter Sagan winning that one, though. It's not as intense. Unless these climbs were to do him in. I don't even know if he's coming. I'm just throwing names out there. Stage 5. That could end up being a sprint stage. Stage 6. A little bit of an uphill. time trial. Not much climbing involved, though. Not really favoring me this tour, though. Not so much. But let's go ahead and get to it. Race day condition, an even 0 across the board. Oh, there you go. See, the favorite, Alaphilippe. Kwiatkowski, yeah, very much punchy type. Michael Matthews, good sprinter, and does okay with these kind of hills. So.
Welcome. The profile of the route is a fairly mixed bag, so everybody should find a section to their pleasing.
Okay, wow, I'm given the leader role, and Uran is here. So apparently I have overtaken Uran now in the team, and they want me in the top 3 of the final overall standings, yet this is not a race that necessarily suits me at all, as it's very much more for a hilly guy. Yes, the time trial at the end suits me, but this will be a difficult one for me to get into the top 3 on, I think, especially as it's World Tour. There's going to be a lot of good riders here, and I'm coming off of a fitness peak, so my numbers aren't going to be great, though they're good today. +2. We've got +4s where it counts. The hill's a +2, so I'll have an easy finish, but this is more of a sprint stage than anything. So I'm going to go ahead and speed along the way. 7 riders in the breakaway group. Already a minute and a half out. One more rider tried to get away, but field not letting it go. Now they open up a 2-minute advantage.
Look, the pack is
4-minute advantage.
The team leaders can't be too worried about
Ulysses in the group. Riding for Wanty Group Gobert. 5 minutes the advantage. Letting them get pretty far away. Ooh, big fall leaves a group a ways behind, but that group's big enough to get back on, and they've already done so. Lead is down to 4 minutes. Little odd that we just let them ride away as far as we did, and then start riding to track them down that early in the stage. Kind of an odd move. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Several riders are on the ground. Another attack in the leading group.
Okay, this is Cat 2 climb. We'll go at pace 2 as we go up over the top, but even without riding hard, I'm moving right back towards the front, meaning the pace not that hot, even though we are closing down the breakaway group, which also means that the breakaway group's going quite slow. There's the top. 2 minutes is the gap. Those riders behind, not that far behind, they'll have an opportunity to catch us on the descent here. I would imagine that they will. Most of them, anyway. But maybe not. Alright, here's the fun climb of the day. Pretty steep, category 1 here. 7K, 7%. 653 meters of altitude to climb. It's too early in the stage, though, to do any kind of damage, so what I have is Joe Dombrowski shielding me, and Sebastian Langeveld timing absolutely horribly his retrieval of water bottles, and he may not make it to the top now as he just used up all of his ability and is at the back of the grid, so I would imagine Langeveld's not going to make it over the top in the peloton.
There are a couple of riders who want to go it alone. You see that? You can read the pain on the faces of the
Nobody's getting water. Yeah, and there you go. Langeveld dropped. Saw that coming. Timing is very important on retrieval of water bottles. And at the base of a very steep climb that's relatively long, not the way to do it. And here we are with now Rigoberto Uran having to go get water. That is ridiculous that you have a would-be team leader having to do that this early in a stage, all because the team boss decided to send back Langeveld to get water at the most inopportune time. Oh, and now Langeveld's fallen down too.
He crashed off and he's
Still no water.
I hope it isn't too serious.
Little disappointed by that because that hurts my condition, but now Uran makes his way forward and that task is done. Just 74 riders left of the peloton, 220 behind that breakaway group, and got a few climbs to go here. And wow, this is steep. This is steep. It's only 2K, but 11%.
Some riders were not giving it their all and sharing the pace. The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%.
Tempted to push tempo here and just...
He's just pulled off his race number. That's it for him. The front group
just
is
do a little damage.
Some riders are exploiting this opportunity to attack.
15K per hour as I climb my way up here. Get a little damage. Dropped about 7 or 8 riders. Oh, more than that. 13, 14 riders dropped. Now even further, another 15 just got dropped. So a little over 20 riders got dropped. Some of them are going to get back on, but it did thin the peloton out a little bit further. And it's not much of a downhill, so we'll do some more damage. Anytime you can thin the field down, you take away some contenders. How many times has the Tour de France been lost in the first 4 or 5 stages? You know, like Richie Porte, great example of somebody who lost the Tour de France in the first 4 or 5 stages. Oh, Langeveld down again. Well over 12 minutes behind. He's going to lose more time here. 13 now. I'm starting to worry. 14 minutes if he's going to still be in this race. I certainly don't want to lose Langeveld on the first stage. Peloton's back up to 64, by the way. And still well behind the breakaway. But the breakaway has split in half, and that's really good for us chasing. They got to do twice the work, both those groups. Uran very fresh, Woods and Carthy not. Only 2 climbs left. Let's speed things up here. Alright, and we start climbing again. For that last climb, last little climb, there will be attacks, guaranteed. Dan Martin, Enrique Mas, Alaphilippe, all right at the front. Carthy's gone from the group. 54 riders left overall. It's Enrique Mas, who's the hungry one behind me, himself wanting to attack. Egan Bernal is here as well. Over the top. Go into recovery. You know what, Ron, you don't need to do that. Why don't you shield me instead? "39 riders is all that's left. 1 climb left. And we got a ways to go till we get there, so I'm going to go ahead and speed it up. Times 4 anyway. We'll go 90 here. Ron should keep me very fresh as we get there. 3 riders left off the front, down to 50 seconds. Peloton down to 33 riders and shrinking. continuing to shrink, so the pace is hot enough that we're losing riders. People aren't recovering. They continue to suffer more fatigue. And the 3 riders off the front are now 2 riders off the front.
There are just 15 kilometers left.
We've caught the first 26 seconds, so they're not going to win. $11.5K to go, and we've caught the breakaway group, and immediately over the top, Lutsenko.
Attack by Alexei Lutsenko.
And he's a decent threat. He's really started to appear in races more recently, and we're just about to the base of that climb. How close are we? I've got a 90. Not 90. Good amount of fatigue. Already at 163. Let's go 88. See what that does. Run. Yeah. Go with me.
There's now just 10 kilometers left.
Okay, he's being caught, it looks like. $87. You know what? I don't know if I want Uran out of contention already. But now it's down to 23 riders. And this thins things out. This is what gives me a chance to be the overall. Right? Okay, let's back off. Okay, now attack again. Pick up the points, Uran. Pick up the points, me. Top 2. There you go. He gets 3 points, I get 2 points. It's not much, but it's something. And now we can recover a little on the descent. Neither one of us are sprinters, so it's not like we're going to win. But 23 riders is all that is left. And I'm already recovering here, so that is awesome. 5K to go. 4.5K to go. 4K to go. Let's go ahead and use the gel. And let's step this up. 34 riders. It's coming back together a little bit as no one is attacking right now. But I'm going to with Uran. Yes. And now sprint is on. There goes the actual sprinters. Michael Matthews, of course, and Yates is second. Latour might be over the top of me. I'm probably 4th here. Yes, Pierre Latour takes 3rd, but 4th place on the stage. No time bonus there, but that is still excellent. Simon Yates, great job for him to take 2nd, but Michael Matthews, the true sprinter in the group, does come top. Simon Yates, Adam Yates, both here, but they are on different teams. Simon Yates, movie star. Adam Yates is still with Mitchelton Scott. Zacharin comes 5th. Malama, Demoulin, that is a who's who. And I'm 4th. Kwiatkowski, Alaphilippe, Tim Wellens, Nairo Quintana all the way down at 12th, but he's in that group. So that's definitely the who's who of this race. And it's going to be difficult to thin that out much more than it already was because, like, I don't know who Rapaciro is. But other than that, it's all big names inside the top 20. Kalmajan, maybe, would get dropped later on. Ben Swift, another Tim Wellens, that aren't necessarily the elite riders here. But, yeah, that's a lot of big names. Michael Matthews, at some point, may get dropped on one of these stages and lose the lead that he has currently.
And here are a few of the
But again, there's no serious climbing in this race, so a lot of it's going to come down to these punchy guys. Little surprised Alaphilippe wasn't up there at all. I don't know if he got dropped from the group or not. Interesting to take a look here. Alaphilippe. No Alaphilippe. Wow, all these guys are on the same time? How? Down to 34th, all on the same time. That's right, it did come back together a bit, didn't it? Egan Bernal, last guy, so he was just hanging on. Chris Froome also in the back there. Uran in the back. Pino, Gallup. Still, lots and lots of big names in the backside of the Peloton group at the end. Ooh, no time bonus. Okay, no time bonuses involved. So, essentially, we got 34 guys still in contention. I'm top of the Young Riders jersey, so that's going to be good for points being earned. And you can see who had the most riders left in that group. And it was not my team. 16 points of progression. Alright, well that was stage number 1. Next time out I will go back to the regular editing and shortening of stages so we can get more action in. But I'm still on a really, really busy schedule right now. That's just making it impossible to get as much time committed as I could. But hopefully there was plenty of action in that one. We should still be right on the same points that we were, I would think, after that. Yeah, 18th in the World Tour and still there, 656. So looking so good as I am now up to 4th in Super Prestige out of everyone at this point. I'm still not the top rider by any means yet. I still haven't even hit 80, but getting better all the time. It was real sad though that last level I literally only gained 3 attribute points. But anyway, next episode will definitely be another edited one. We'll get through the entirety of the rest of this race, those 5 stages, and we'll see if there's any time to do any more than that. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.